Hey guys, welcome to the second video of my series on how to publish Python packages. So now in the last video we learned a bit about the concept behind the Python package index or the PyPI, and now we are going to start from scratch. So now let us assume that you have just created a very simple Python application, let's say. So you have just created a very simple Python application like this. So let's say you created a folder in which you put all the files which you are using in your application. So for the example purpose, in this particular series I'll be using my own package which I call as weather reporter. It contains two files, so let us just take a brief look at these files. What these files are doing is not our main purpose of understanding, but just for seeing that what is happening behind the scenes, we can just take a look at what is this file doing. It is simply using an API and then calling it to get the weather report, and then it is printing the weather details. Okay, and I have another Python script which is called cli.py, which is responsible for taking the command line arguments from the user and then showing them the weather of any given location. So this is how my Python script works. So let us just take a look at by running this particular script. So let me run python3 cli.py, and if I write -h, it will give me some help commands. So these are some help commands. Okay, so now python3 cli.py -q Delhi. So it will simply show me the weather for Delhi. Okay, so this is the weather for Delhi. So in this way I have written my Python script. You can write any kind of script that you want to publish, and in this particular video series I want to create a Python package which I will be calling weather reporter, which people can install by doing pip install weather reporter, and then they will be able to just write weather reporter -q Delhi, and they will be able to see the weather of Delhi. That is what I intend to do. So this is my Python script that I'm gonna use. So now the first thing to do here is that I have to restructure my Python application according to my Python package. So first of all, let me create a master folder which I will be having for my Python package. So let me create a new folder which I'm calling weather-reporter. So you can simply see the change in a bit of change in the name of these two folders. It is weather_reporter, this is weather-reporter. So this is going to be my package folder, and this is my simple Python application which contains the core files. So I'm just gonna put it inside my package. So now on my desktop I have my package folder which I call weather-reporter, which contains my Python application, my Python scripts, which are in the folder called weather_reporter, which contains all these files. Okay, so this is how my my structure of my package looks like right now. Now, in order to publish a Python package, you need several other files as well. So now that is what we're gonna check out. So here, when we want to set up the package, we have to get a package structure like this. So this is my main package folder, right? And then I have to get these four files. These are four files which are necessary for publishing my Python package. Other than that, this is my main project folder which contains my cli.py and utils.py file. So I have put it at the root of my package folder. So here it is, and now let us talk about these four files one by one. So first of all, let us talk about setup.py. Setup.py is the main setup file which contains all the basic information about your Python package. So it is given in the form of this particular thing, in which I just give the name of my package, the version, the description, and all. So let us try to see what all this is doing by just first of all creating a new file called setup.py in my package. Okay, so let me just first of all remove it, and now let me create a new file in my weather reporter package. So here I am in the weather reporter package, and here I'm just gonna create a file called setup.py. So now as you can look, in my weather reporter package I have my weather_reporter project folder, and at the same level I have my setup.py file. And now I'm just gonna paste that text. So now here is my setup.py file. So let us see what it does. So the first thing to understand here is that Python has an inbuilt library called setup tools, which contains the setup module, which is responsible for specifying all the details of your Python package setup. Okay, so here it is the function which is called for specifying the setup details. So the first thing here is the name of your package, which I have set as weather reporter. The version, which I have set as 1.0.0, you can set it in this form in any way. You can just simply write 1 or 1.0 or 1.0.0.0, anything like that. Okay. Other than that, we have the description, a very short description. You can also give a long description, and for giving the long description, I have used a readme file. Okay, so I will just show you the contents of my readme file, but before that, what we have to understand here is that for the long description, I'm using a markdown file. Just like in the GitHub repositories, we have a readme file which is rendered below your GitHub repository and show you a bit of detail about that repository. In the same way, I have created a readme file for my own package, and that I am first of all reading and then returning it here. So long description contains my readme file details. Okay, and in the next line I describe, I tell the content type of my long description is actually markdown, so that PyPI can understand it, and when I open the home page of my Python project on PyPI, then my description is rendered in markdown format. That's the reason behind it. The next thing is to provide some URL of where you are actually going to keep your Python project, like in a GitHub repository, right? So for doing that, you can do something like this in the URL, and then you can give a author name, author email, then a license. A license gives what kind of permissions are applicable on your Python package, which specifies how can anyone use your package, what are the restrictions and all. So licenses can be of different types, and one of the mostly used licenses is the MIT license, which we are going to use in this particular example. So I'm just setting license as MIT. Then there is classifiers, in which I have just specified that I will be using the Python programming language 3 or 3.7. I am not writing here Python 2 because I know that my project is not compatible for Python 2. So if someone tries to do pip install my package for Python 2 version, then they will be given a warning that this package does not support Python 2. Okay, so that is the reason for doing like this. Then I have the packages. So in the packages argument, you have to actually provide a list of all the you have to provide a list of all your packages, the Python packages and their sub packages. So basically, the thing is that weather underscore reporter contains my actual Python script, which I want to be a part of my Python package. So that is why I have to write it in that particular argument. If I have some other folder, let's say demo and something like that, and I do not want this particular folder to be a part of my actual Python package, I want to say that this is not going to be used or cannot be imported by some other user when they install my package using pip, then I can simply not specify it in this particular argument. So I've just written weather underscore reporter, which simply means that weather underscore reporter folder in my package contains all the necessary Python files. Okay. Then there are some conditions. For example, sometimes only having Python packages is not enough. Only having Python scripts is not enough. Actually, you also want some other files, like some JSON files or some TXT file, right? So in those cases, what we do is we have to say that I want to include package data. So include package data means that other than Python scripts, I have also some other files which I want to be a part of my package. These other files can be your readme file or your license as well. Okay, so I'm keeping it here true, and in some other file I'll be specifying which all files have to be a part of my Python package. So that is the thing. Finally, install requires contains the list of all the third-party libraries that your particular package is dependent upon. So for example, I am using the request library here. Let me show you. In the weather reporter, in the utils.py, I'm using import request, right? So if a person does not have request library in their PC, then they might get an error when they are using my package. So I would like that whenever you install my package, request library should also get installed in your computer. So that's why I'm saying install requires request. You can also specify a particular version of request by doing something like this, right? So that is also possible. And if you want that a user can your package only supports request versions greater than 2.0.1, you can keep it like this as well. Okay, so in this way you can do it. Right now it does not matter which version I use, so I'm just keeping it like requests. Now finally we have the entry points. So many a times we want the user to be able to use my package in the form of a simple command line application. For example, I have, for example, I can have, let's say when I write ls, then it does some kind of particular thing, right? So in the same way I would like that when I write weather reporter and I write -q Delhi. So I'm not saying that I am running a Python file. I'm just writing the name weather reporter. Then I want my system to be able to understand that which Python package I'm talking about and which script to run. Okay. So for doing this particular kind of thing, or you can say making a console script. These are called console scripts. So making these kind of scripts, I have to do something like this. I have to specify the complete path up to which we have to follow to make a command line application. So the path is, in the weather reporter package, go to the weather_reporter folder in its cli.py file, and there is a function called main. Okay, so whenever weather-reporter is written in my terminal, then this particular function will be called. So let us try to see what this function is doing in my code. So this function is doing this. So here is the main function. This particular is the main function, which is simply specifying the complete code for how to parse an argument. So it will be able to parse the complete argument like -q Delhi. So it will be able to understand that the query is Delhi, and it will be able to get the weather and then print those weather details. So in this way, you can create some command line applications as well. So that is what we can do. So in this way, I have completed my setup.py file. It contains all the details related to my package and it seems complete. So now we are going to move to the next part, which is, let us see, which is readme. So let me just create a readme file. So I have created a very simple markdown file which contains some information about my package. So I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to save it as a new file, readme.md. So it's a markdown file. It is at the same level as my setup.py. So it's done. And then I have to put the license. So here is the license that I have. This is the MIT license. So I'm just gonna save it as license. And here I can just put the year here. So this is actually the syntax. So I can just put the year and the name of the author like this. So now this is my license that I have created for this package. Cool. Now finally there is the manifest file. So this is manifest file specifies what all package data I am using other than the Python scripts that I have specified. So if you remember, in the setup.py file, I have said that packages are these. So this contains all the Python scripts. They will be a part of my package. But what about readme.md or the license file? Are they going to be a part of my package? So for doing that, I said include package data equal to true, which means that include all the other files as well. But what all other files? I have to specify them. So for doing that, I have to create a new manifest file, manifest.in. And in that file, I have to just specify something like this, include, and then the name of all the files separated by spaces. So I've just specified readme.md and license. These are the extra files which I want to be a part of my package. Okay. So in this way, this is done. So fine, this completes my complete Python package structure, and now we are ready to upload it to PyPI. So that is what we are going to do in the next video. So that's it from this video. If you still have any doubts, you can put them in the comment section below. And yeah, thanks for watching.